everyone and welcome to Buy Now, Sell Now Weekend. I'm Avan Dabash and it's been a very interesting week for the equity markets as we pierced through record highs at sniffing distance of the 9400 mark, with the Sensex conquering the coveted 30,000 level. The broader markets also really popped the bubbly this time, but what about your investments and your stocks? Well, we've got lots lined up today on the show as we discuss just that. So here's what we will be discussing on the show today. We will be discussing stock queries on Lupin. We've also got Sun Pharma and Spark, so it's dominated by the pharma stocks. In our Portfolio Advisor segment then today, we will be discussing Vijay Sarathy Shankar S's portfolio on the show. Time to bring on board our guests. Joining in on the fundamentals is Gaurang Shah. He's Head Investment Strategist at GOG BNP Paribas. And we also have Ruchit Jain, Technical Analyst Equities at Angel Broking. Hi there, gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Let's start off with our first query for the day. Well, this one has been sent in from Bangalore from Jamila Bano. Jamila says that she's got 100 shares of Lupin, which she's purchased at about 1900 rupees. It's a medium-term time horizon, and now she wants to know, should she stay invested or should she completely book out? Well, you do have a recent report which came out on Lupin by Credit Suisse, where they were pretty cautious. In fact, they maintained an underperform rating, slashing the target to 1250, saying that the markets for Fortimet as well as Glumetza are declining quite substantially. They've cut the FY17 EPS by about 2% and believe that the second half of FY18 will see weak earnings. And even if you see the kind of trajectory that we've seen this entire month, it's been fairly weak for the pharma lot. What exactly should she do? Let's get in a view first from Gaurang. And Gaurang, your opinion on the fundamentals?
Well, so we do have positive coverage on Lupin, but the only problem is that his acquisition price is way higher than our target price. So there are two things you can do. One is be patient, hold on to the stock, and if he's got investable amount, then at current levels, wherever the stock is trading somewhere close to about 1300 or so thereabouts, the last time that I saw, it's a great level to add on to the stock. There will be a longish time horizon which the investor will have to stay invested, given the kind of overhang as far as the US FD and the business outlook is concerned. But we remain positive at current levels. If you average, then from a year and a half plus kind of a time horizon, we have a target of 1670. And mind you, this with the caveat that if the resolution of the overhang is in place before the expected time horizon, then I think we will revise the target upwards. So be patient, hold on to it, and you need to average definitely.
Ruchit, give us a view as to what you make of this stock, because we've been talking about how the last 1 month, despite what the market has been up to, this has been a sector that's been fairly neglected and on the downside. Does Lupin have merit to go?
Yeah, overall, as far as Lupin is concerned, we have seen that in last few months the stock was trading in a very sideways range, and probably after this range bound movement, the prices have started correcting. And also, if we see within this uptrend of last 5 to 6 months in the market, the pharma sector as a whole has not done that well, or it has not even participated in this rally. So what is happening, I think, rather than just waiting for these stocks to again bounce back or again start participating in this up move, I think there are a lot of better other opportunities available in the market which could show good outperformance with the market moves. So I think although the current prices is much lower than the price at which he has bought, but I would still recommend him to exit from Lupin as of now. It's not that we are very bearish on Lupin or the price stock or the stock price could go much lower, but the way the stock has underperformed in this recent past, the broader markets, I think he should switch to some other stocks which could show some good outperformance and where his loss could be recovered. Auto sector is one of those sectors wherein we have seen that after a consolidation phase, we have seen a good breakout during last week. So we believe that auto sector should show a good momentum even in next 4 to 6 months of perspective. M&M is one of the stock within this sector which have moved higher with good volumes and has also given has also formed a good support base around the levels of 1200. So we believe that he should switch from Lupin to M&M now. On the higher side, from next 6 months perspective, I won't be surprised if the stock moves higher up to 1600 kind of levels. So my advice to him would be to exit from Lupin and switch to M&M, where his loss would be recovered in next 4 to 6 months.
Okay, that's the advice coming in. You should stay invested. That's what Gaurang says, and a target of about 1670. And Ruchit also believes that maybe there would be better potential in the form of M&M. That's the stock that he's recommending. Let's move right on to the next query, also sent in from Jamila. She's got 150 shares of Sun Pharma as well, purchased at 900 bucks, and now she wants to know what specific targets she should watch out for. So definitely wants to stay invested. Gaurang, let's get a sense as to what exactly you're making of Sun Pharma. Do you think that, this is a good stock to have in the portfolio, that maybe it would be prudent for her to perhaps stretch her time horizon and tell us what are the targets that you have in mind?
So again, the same, unfortunately, both these stocks in the pharma, Lupin and Sun, are stuck with the US FDA overhang, and especially with Sun Pharma, there is another facility in Gujarat which has come under the scanner of the US FDA, and both these facilities, contribute to a great extent to the export and the US market. Their inability to resolve the Halol plant issue for the second time was a huge concern for us, but we remain positive on the stock. 600, 650 or thereabouts, your downside is extremely protected. But again, he's bought it at elevated level. He needs to average at least half the quantity or even more in case if he's got the investable amount. And from a longer time horizon, we are looking at a target of somewhere close to about 745. So definitely both the stocks stay invested, be patient, but you need to average.
Okay. Hold on, that's the call that Gaurang is advocating for a target of about 745. Hope you've taken that note of that. But, just mapping the kind of moves that we've seen on the charts, Ruchit, does that worry you a little bit? Would you be looking for some sort of a decisive level post which we can see a good breakout?
So again, coming on to the pharma stock, again, the Sun Pharma, as we said that this entire sector as a whole has not seen a good outperformance vis-a-vis the markets. But as far as Sun Pharma is concerned, the stock is in a consolidation phase. It's very difficult to time it that when the uptrend would be resumed in the stock. But yes, the downside seems to be very limited in the stock, as the stock has a good support base around 600 levels. So I think my advice would be that he could continue to hold Sun Pharma. As I said, very difficult to time it, but once it resumes its positive momentum, the stock could see higher levels up to 730, 740 kind of levels. Not expecting major outperformance with the market in this stock, but just because the downside is limited, my advice to him would be to keep holding Sun Pharma.
Okay, the call is final and a consensus hold on to Sun Pharma. You've got a target price of about 745 on the upside. Let's move right on and address Jamila's last query, which comes in on Spark. Now, in this stock, she's purchased it at about 404 rupees. She's got about 200 shares of the stock. And, just let's pull up a Spark for you and see where it's at. 317 is where it's currently trading at, which means that she's losing out a bit of money on this investment. What's the outlook going forward? Ruchit, I'm going to come to you first. She is a little bit confused right now. She has a medium-term time horizon. Do you think it would be prudent for her to book out of this one completely? What's the call?
Sun Pharma Advanced Research is it's one of the stock which has been consolidating, but within this consolidation phase also we have not seen any great kind of volumes coming in this stock. So I believe that this stock would continue to consolidate, and we may not see major up moves in this stock, as this is also sheer underperformance with other pharma stocks in the Sun Pharma Advanced Research too. My advice with him again would be similar, would be to exit from this stock and invest that amount in some other stock which could show good momentum in the markets in next 2 to 3 months. One of the stock that I would advise him to is to go long on Bharat Forge. This stock has been in uptrend, has been forming high top high bottom structure, and if we also see this, it has been it has participated quite well in this market up move in last couple of months. On the high side, we are expecting a target of around 1270, 1280 next couple of months time frame. Well, probably the stock could even move further higher if we can hold for next 5 to 6 months perspective. So my advice would be to come out of the stock which is not doing great. So you can sell Sun Pharma Advanced and switch it to Bharat Forge.
Gaurang, give us a sense of how the fundamental story really is playing out, because Ruchit believes that, this one could be completely avoided. There is better potential in the form of a Bharat Forge. Do you prefer any other stock within the pharma space itself, or do you think that there is something better that she can watch out for in the markets? Let's understand your view.
So again, over the last 5 years, if you look at the Sun Pharma Advanced, that is Spark, it has been a stellar outperformer. From double digit to maybe 3 digits, somewhere close to about 350 or to 300 or 400, I don't know what the current level is. But I wouldn't comment specific on Spark because we don't have a coverage. But in case if you want to make a switch from here, because this is directly also have a overhang for the from Sun Pharma, since it's the associate company also. So my advice is that if you're looking at an alternative investment and in the pharma sector, then Aurobindo somewhere close to about 625 is a screaming investment idea. I would say it will be prudent you make a switch from Spark to Aurobindo Pharma. From a longer term time horizon, we have a target of 810. So that's somewhere close to about 25-30% return that we are talking about.
Okay, Jamila, I hope you've taken note of that advice. Clearly, this is not a stock that our experts are too fascinated by. In fact, Gaurang too is talking about how there is Aurobindo Pharma, which is a better bet within the pharmaceutical space. Watch out for a target of 810. And Bharat Forge, that is what Ruchit flagged off. We'll tell you what, we'll take a quick break right here on the show. Come right back as we discuss Vijay Sarthi Shankar's portfolio on the show. Thanks for staying on with us. This is Buy Now, Sell Now Weekend. We're in the middle of dissecting our Portfolio Advisor segment. Let's get straight to it. And today, we'll be discussing Vijay Sarthi Shankar's portfolio on the show. He's got a total of 12 stocks. He's 46 years old and has a long-term time horizon. So let's help you out and tell you how you can make good capital on this portfolio. Let's start off by telling you which stocks he holds. First up, there's HCC, bought at about 44 rupees. He's got 600 odd shares of NCC purchased at 102. NBCC features on the list, 250 shares at 268 rupees. Moving on, there's more PSUs, and BEL is bought at about 1500 rupees. He's got Kesoram Industries, 200 shares and picked up at 198. Moving on, there's IGL in the portfolio, 150 shares and 967. He also holds an auto component company, Bharat Forge, 100 shares and 973. Hero Motocorp at 3,488. There's more auto in the form of M&M, 90 shares at about 1,400 bucks. There's MCX, recent newsmaker, 250 shares bought at about 1,300. LIC Housing Finance is also on the list at 587. And Grasim too is in the portfolio. He's got about 500 odd shares at 944 rupees. Gaurang, let's understand what your view would be. Let's start with all the CC stocks. HCC, NCC and NBCC. Do you like these names? Is there too much high beta concentration according to you?
So firstly on HCC, well, there has been a tremendous amount of outperformance, but the overhang in terms of Lavasha issues, funds, etc., there is a concern. I would say that since you already have one construction related investment in NCC, continue to hold that. But on HCC, it would be preference would be given to something like a JK Lakshmi Cement, on which we have a positive coverage. Longest time horizon, target of 550. So if you want to make a switch, I think it is better. On NCC, well, we remain extremely positive, and that's one of the reasons why I said that switch from HCC to JK Lakshmi Cement. On NCC, tremendous turnaround, great order book, execution par excellence, and the overhang in terms of debt has been reduced to a great extent. Stay invested for a target of 115 from a long-term point of view. On NBCC, well, a great company, government owned, has seen tremendous amount of traction on the positive side. With the recent commentary from the management on order and execution, we are extremely positive about it. 245 is the long-term target on NBCC.
Okay, let's move on and then talk about some of the other stocks. BEL is another PSU in the portfolio at about 1,500 bucks. Do you like Kesoram? You know, what exactly do you make of the fundamentals, and do you think, one should stay put with IGL?
So BEL, again, defense is a great play for BEL, and defense related logistic software is something that the company provides. Has seen good order book. The stock very recently split into the current level after price adjustment, with the execution of defense and of course a larger play. So if you were invested 1,544, don't worry, you would have got proportionately higher number of shares since the stock has got split and adjusted for the price, so the number of shares goes up. We have a target of 225 from a long-term point of view on BEL. On Kesoram, no specific comments, but I think you don't have any banking in your portfolio. Prudent to shift into a mid-cap private sector bank, something like a City Union Bank. 185 is the target. Kesoram, no specific comments since we don't have a coverage. On IGL, great alternative fuel theme. Consumption is going up. Government is investing in distribution and infrastructure pipeline for the gas distribution of compressed and liquid natural gas. Great performance in terms of numbers year on year. 1150 is the target on IGL.
Okay, that's the take on the next set of stocks, but I want to discuss what the outlook would be on Bharat Forge and some of these auto stocks, because there are marquee names in the portfolio, but if you notice that when it comes to the large cap, it's solely isolated to auto stocks. So is it enough to have a Hero MotoCorp and M&M in the portfolio, Gaurang?
So on Bharat Forge, auto ancillary, huge positive in terms of the Class 8 truck orders picking up, because this was a great concern over the last 6-7 quarters where the downtake was quite at an alarming level. But with the recovery in the economy, we are seeing the Class 8 truck orders going up for Bharat Forge. So huge positive. We are extremely overweight on Bharat Forge. Plus, along with that, we have a defense also in Bharat Forge as far as the artillery side of the defense requirement is concerned, wherein Bharat Forge will supply the necessary arms and ammunitions and the logistics as well. Remain positive on Bharat Forge with a target of 1225. On Hero MotoCorp, well, great investment idea in the across the vertical, whether it is commercial, two-wheeler, four-wheeler, agri, LCV, MHCV, across the board they've got the products. Unfortunately, there was an overhang because they could not penetrate quite well in the PV segment as well as the two-wheeler segment. But their two-wheeler segment, the Mojo bike is doing extremely well. There is good traction in the upside. Plus, they are working on the other new models and relaunching them with the new specification, features and technology. On the passenger vehicle side, they have launched KUV, TUV and XUV, which is doing extremely well and has found customer preference amongst the category. Stay invested in M&M with a target of 1450, and here again you have a defense play because M&M is going to supply armored vehicles and light infantry vehicles to the defense. So stay invested in M&M as well.
Okay, pretty clear cut with his outlook there. Let's discuss the last three stocks. MCX, what is the outlook for LIC Housing Finance? A lot of experts have been betting hard on this one. And Grasim, do you like this one? The only other large cap rather from the cement space.
So MCX has been a turnaround post the huge downfall of the various related news flow and of course the negativity that we had. Now there has been a tactical change in the ownership. You have a new owner coming up. Business strategy has been put in place. Financial technology overhang, NSDL overhang is now thing of the past. Has done well, but unfortunately again we don't have a specific coverage on MCX, so I won't comment on that. But likewise, if you want to invest in another platform of services provided in terms of equity, then the recent listing BSE Limited is a great investment idea. From a longest time horizon, we have a target of 1250 on BSE. On LIC Housing, well, one of the greatest company in terms of housing finance, has seen tremendous amount of performance in terms of quarter on quarter, has seen price appreciation accordingly. Government initiative is going to drive the housing for all, affordable housing theme, will drive the loan book growth for housing finance companies. Stay invested with a target of 765 from a long-term point of view. On Grasim, post the entire strategy of management change, consolidation and different activities, we believe this is one company that is going to do well, comes from a great pedigree as far as the management is concerned. Stay invested from a long-term point of view with a target of 1285 on Grasim.
Okay, that's the outlook coming in on the entire portfolio. I hope you've taken note of the advice. Just let's give you a quick recap. HCC is an exit. JK Lakshmi is a better bet for a target of 500. Hold on to NBCC as well as NCC in the portfolio. Next up, stay put in BEL. 225 is a level to watch out for. Kesoram, exit that one. City Union Bank has more potential. 185 is a level to watch out for. Meantime, stay invested in IGL. A thumbs up on that stock. Bharat Forge, 1225 is the target to keep on your radar. Stay invested in Hero Motor for the long haul. Watch out for 3960. M&M is also a good stock to have in the portfolio. Watch out for 1450 on the upside. Instead of MCX, take new entrant BSE to the portfolio. Buy into that stock for a target of 1250. LIC Housing Finance and Grasim, both of them get a thumbs up. Watch out for a level of 1285 on Grasim. Okay, that pretty much sums up the Portfolio Advisor segment. Let's just run you through a very important disclaimer that if you will be looking to invest in any of these stocks, please do consult your financial advisor. We take a quick break right here on the show. Stay with us as we get you top bets on the other side. Welcome back. This is Buy Now, Sell Now Weekend. Gaurang, let's start off with you then. Before we get in your picks, what's the outlook on the markets? Uncharted territory.
So I think we've come a long way from December right up till date, 3.5, 4 months, sub 8,011, 7,900 if I'm not mistaken on the Nifty spot on 26th of Jan 2016. From there 9,300, almost there, closer to 9,400 if you will. We've come a long way, so it's only prudent that we consolidate a little bit. What the good part about the current scenario is that we don't have a huge disappointment as far as the fourth quarter earnings season is concerned. So that's a blessing in disguise. This, whatever seen up till now, there are a lot more to come and I hope they'll deliver in the similar line. The only joker in the pack is what happens on the global front as far as the noise that's coming out from North Korea and US. And if there is any unpleasant scene or any misadventure that takes place, that might drive some amount of correction into the global equity market, and so will be in our market into a correction mode. However, that's a short to medium term view. From a longer term time horizon on fallback of earnings, government policies, GST rollout and good monsoon, I think India remains to be the most preferred destination in terms of equity investment long term. So if you have a long term view, stay invested. If you have cash on deployment, wait for a correction to come through and then go and deploy. From a short to medium term, it might be a little bit choppy in terms of the Nifty, the indices range, and of course the news flow. So you need to be a little bit careful and patient. Long term, all dips would be a great buying opportunity.
Right, and Gaurang, if you could run us through your top recommendations, what are the wealth creation ideas?
So we have identified two stock ideas, both are from a different sector. One is from pharma, second one is from auto. Ipca Labs is the stock that I'm talking about. We are extremely excited about the recent development as far as the Ipca Labs is concerned, and of course furthermore resolution with respect to the concerns that have been raised will throw in positivity. We have a long-term target on Ipca Labs of somewhere close to about 725. And remember one thing, pharma is one of the least attractive sector in terms of invested and falling in line with what Indian IT company is doing. But there will be time from a longer term point of view when resolutions will come and these two sectors will again start contributing. So this is a good time to be the first one to catch the falling sector and buy the best stock in that and stay invested from a long term point of view. So Ipca Lab is one stock idea, 725 is the target. The next one is again a stock from the auto sector, but one which is not really in the flavor. Tata Motors is the stock that I'm talking about. Great outlook as far as their launch in JLR is concerned, Jaguar Land Rover, high-end premium segment vehicles. Equally positive in terms of the recent launches, whether it is Tiaggio, Tigor, Hexa, and furthermore launches coming in the passenger SUV sector, SUV segment, as well as the LCV and MHCV segment. Defense is also one of the play that we are extremely positive about for Tata Motors. Conservative target of 550, which I'm quite sure we will revise it upwards on fallback of good earnings and global footprints for Tata Motors.
And Ruchit, your top bets, what is it that you're looking out for?
Well, yes, as far as picks are concerned, firstly, I would like to take an approach on the sectoral front. Auto is one of the sector which is expected to show good outperformance in the next week or probably next couple of weeks. So I think one should look to create long positions in stocks within this sector. Definitely, M&M is one of the stock which is looking good. Other stock is Bajaj Auto. Even this stock, Bajaj Auto has formed a good support base around 2,800. So my advice would be to go long in Bajaj Auto at current levels. Positive momentum could be expected once this stock crosses the resistance of 2915, but looking at the support base which it has formed and also the good volumes coming in the stock in last few trading sessions, I think it's good to preempt a breakout in this stock. You can go long at current levels and around to the Friday's closing in Bajaj Auto. Keep a stop loss below 2785 and expecting target of around 3030 in next couple of weeks time frame. And my second pick would be to go long in Cox and Kings. Probably amongst the mid cap stock, this stock has recently formed a higher top, higher bottom structure. Although we have seen a consolidation phase in last couple of weeks, but we believe that the stronger the chart structure is in this stock. So we believe that this stock might give a breakout and move higher in next couple of weeks. So one can go long in Cox and Kings, keeping stop loss below 212 and expecting target around 254 in next 2 weeks of time frame. So amongst the mid cap space, Cox and Kings is a preferred pick, and amongst the large cap, one should definitely look at the auto names, and Bajaj Auto would be one of the name where we advise to create long positions.
Okay, gentlemen, we'll let you go on that note. Thank you so much for joining in. With that, it's a wrap on BNSN Weekend. Thanks for watching.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/ETNow.